Lock in Fox Sports Radio is your number one preset on the iHeartRadio app for the hottest takes, biggest interviews, and complete coverage. Plus, binge on-demand podcast for more coverage like Good Game with Sarah Spain.
Basketball, and more basketball.
Search college basketball on the iHeartRadio app and listen now.
Hey, friends. I'm Jessica Capshaw.
And this is Camilla Luddington.
And we have a new podcast. Call It What It Is. You may know us from Graceland Memorial, but did you know that we are actually besties in real life?
When one of us sends out the distress signal, the other one always answers the call. Big or small, we're there.
And what does that look like? 1,000 pep talks, 1,000,000 I've got yous, some very urgent I'm coming overs. Because, I don't know, let's face it, life can get even crazier than a season finale of Grey's Anatomy.
And now here we are, opening up the friendship circle.
Someone's cheating?
We've got you on that.
In-laws are in-lying?
Let's get into it.
Toxic friendship?
Air it out.
We're on your side to help you with your concerns. Talk about ours, and every once in a while, bring on an awesome guest to get their take on the things that you bring us. Listen to Call It What It Is on the iHeartRadio app.
1300 The Zone is your home for the Round Rock Express.
Welcome back to segment 2 of the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio, AM 1300 The Zone. Mike Hardball, Hardge, world's strongest man, the Mark Henry.
That's right.
And, of course, Marcus behind the boards. In the next segment, we will talk Texas football news, notes, and nuggets on the Hard Knocks Life segment. Then we'll finish out with Texas baseball getting a sweep. And let me just tell you, they didn't woke up a man that didn't need to be woken up, and they did that with Texas baseball. But the Final Four is set. The trip to San Antonio is about to take place, and we have one representative from the state of Texas, and that's them Houston Cougars. But our Final Fours are set, Mark. Duke defeated Bama 85-65. It was not even close. Bama, you live by the 3, you die by the 3, and they were dead on arrival because they were missing shot after shot. Florida defeated Texas Tech. Texas Tech had one hell of a run, but they came up short when Florida's Clayton decided it was time for him to, y'all to remember, mama, there go that man again, and he was able to come in firing on all cylinders. And then, of course, yesterday, Tennessee, we talked about living and dying by the 3. That's exactly what happened to Tennessee as the Houston Cougars came out hot, defeated them 60-50, and Auburn in a hard-fought battle against Michigan State. But Auburn moves on to the Final Four after a 70-64 win. Both of us, we got 2 SEC teams. We've got a Big 12 team, and we have an ACC team, all chalk, all number 1 seeds have made it to the championship round of the Final Four. That will take place this week in San Antonio. Mark, which was your biggest takeaway this weekend?
You know, I thought the biggest game for me was watching Houston and Tennessee. Oh, Hardge. That was a knockdown drag out.
Yep.
Because
they got dragged out, though.
Houston did not want to lose, but they were not playing to win, and they just got by. But it was still a very good coaching win for Houston because the inbounds play that they drew up to get that score at the end was genius.
Yeah, that was a big time play. I was talking about it the entire weekend. I was excited about it. I was like, I know we're going to see a lot of people draw that up because of it. You never leave the ball.
Never.
And they did. And that's not something that you are used to seeing in those particular moments. But University of Houston moves on after a 69-50 performance over Tennessee. Tennessee, I told you, you live by the 3, you die by the 3. They were 5 of 29, 17.2%. Tennessee was, and they just kept jacking them up. Their Chaz Lanier, he was 2 of 12. Zakai Sigler was 1 of 6. 2 of their main scorers could not by a bucket. And it was a big difference maker, and that is why Houston, with all their length, they are long, man, on defensive end. They have big-time players, L.J. Cryer, who struggled in the game before that, didn't stop shooting. He kept attacking, kept pulling up, kept making his shots, and Houston advances to take on Duke. The Duke Blue Devils find a way to get it done. Alabama, as we talked about, game before we were playing the audio, Sears made 10 threes. They shot 24, made 25 threes, wanted to make 28. That was the goal. Well, they end up coming up short because they couldn't, end up losing by 20. And the Duke Blue Devils, team that nobody really likes. You know what I'm saying? They're just that team.
That was the old days, I think, though.
Well, they love Cooper Flag. They love
Cooper Flag has brought love to Duke. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you, he hard not to like.
Right.
I mean, just to go back, I know we always try to keep it going forward, but I remember telling you, Hardge, I just watched a high school kid, 17 years old, give Bam Adebayo and Anthony Davis the business.
Right.
He was killing them. These are the best pros in the world at those positions. And he was giving them the business?
Yep.
And this is leading up into the Olympics.
Talking smack to him, too.
Oh, man, it was unbelievable.
Yep.
So I'm just hoping that young man stays healthy. He's going to – everybody talk about the face of the league. If he can come in and do what he's doing now and develop into a 21-year-old, wow, we might see another Magic Johnson.
Think about it. He's supposed to still be in high school.
I know.
He just turned 18 years old.
Yeah.
Just turned it. And just think about what it would have been like for him in high school.
It would have been.
Not for him, for them opponents.
I can hear the coach now. Who's got flag?
And nobody
Coach, come get him.
I need the National Guard has them. That's what they need right now. That's how that goes down. And then you start to look at some of the other matchups and what went down. Auburn being able to handle their business. I told you Clayton Jr. for Florida got hot, ended up with 30 points. He was their go-to. I asked my son, I said, is he really that good? He said, Dad, he is him. He is him. I'm like, okay. He is an absolute bucket.
Well, they beat BYU, which shocked me.
Because you didn't think they were doing it. But remember, Florida was one of the hottest teams in the country at the time. They were continuing to play well, and that is why we have them playing for a national championship. They have been hot. And you look at Auburn beating Michigan State, they're still dealing with an injury from Broome. They got to figure out what's going on with him and what the expectations are, if he's going to be ready to go. But
he's been beat up all season.
But think about Auburn. Think about what Bruce Pearl has been able to do with that program year in and year out. And you never would have thought, yeah, I like him. You never would have thought that they would have been a basketball school. But when he left Tennessee and he was able to get picked up by Auburn, those were the times that you're like,
he got let go at Tennessee, didn't he?
Yeah, he got in trouble. Got a little trouble.
Yeah.
But now everything legal. So just remember that. Like you say, I don't want to go in the past.
Don't dig into the past.
Don't dig into the past. I want to move forward. And that's exactly what they've been able to do. So the Final Four is set. You have Auburn versus Florida, two SEC schools that know each other very, very well. And now you have Duke and the University of Houston. Now, here's the deal. Kelvin Sampson, he's always talked about having attitude. You got to play with attitude. And that is why he believes that his team has been so successful.
I talk to these kids about their attitude. There's only two things you can control in this lifetime, and that's your attitude and your effort. And we work so hard on making sure that body language, posture, being a good teammate, understanding your role, being part of something that's far more important than you are, and playing for something far more important than you are, the connectivity that goes that. But that being said, it's not easy. If it was, then everybody would do it. And the problem with consistent people is you take them for granted because you stop respecting what they do. And that's the cynicism in people. They look for what's wrong. You can find something wrong with everybody. You know how? Look for it. But there's something to be said about the consistency we've had here.
Precautionary.
Love it.
Wow.
Love it. Love it. Because that's what it's all about. You start to look at these teams and these players and who's going to have a great attitude. Don't forget, think about this. John Shire, the coach for Duke, took over for the legend that he played for. And you talk about casting a spell over a program, and then you go out and you recruit the kids that you are able to recruit, and then you bring in a Cooper Flag to take you over the top. Now you start to see things differently.
And then he's got the next Cooper Flag coming.
Thank you.
Boozer.
So now it's that type of deal that you start to look at and what this program has now achieved. Those are the things that I continue to look at when you look at this Duke program and how they have been able to stay on top at a high level and achieve at the level in which they are right now. Mark, this is going to be a knockdown, dragged out Final Four that had chalk written all over it. But people looking for wild cards and crazy comebacks and things like that. Duke, University of Houston, Auburn versus Florida for a chance to get into the national championship game. San Antonio, it's about to be live. Coming up in the Hardge Knocks Life, we're going to have a conversation about Texas football and are the Yankees cheating? Say what? Right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Don't miss the iHeart Country Festival 2025, returning to the Moody Center Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
Got some big delays building right now in Kyle. I-35 northbound between Kyle Parkway and Sassney Lane. 20 minutes worth right now thanks to slow traffic. 183 northbound between FM 973 and Patton Avenue. Got slow traffic there. That's causing a 12-minute delay. And in Manor, 290 westbound between FM 1100 and FM 973 this morning. Got a 14-minute delay because of slow traffic. I'm Lee Rizel with a look at your Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
This is Mark Henry, the world's strongest man. Discover the true taste of Texas at Mom's Food, Smokehouse, and Delicatessen, where everything is handcrafted in-house from the mustard to the bacon. Proudly featured in the inaugural Michelin Guide of Texas, they source the finest products from local producers. Visit us at 5811 Manor Road, Austin, Texas, or find them at your favorite farmer's market. Pre-order their barbecue today. Don't you keep the best delicatessen in Austin a secret. Tell them Mark Henry sent you.
Individual results may vary. Prescription required. Actual price depends on product and plan purchased. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
You've noticed your hair is thinning out, or maybe you've noticed your game in the bedroom is getting a bit cold. Let's make this real simple. These are normal things that happen to lots of guys at some point. And through HIMS, getting help couldn't be more, as we said, simple. The process is 100% online, so you just have to answer a few simple questions, and a medical provider will determine if treatment is right for you. For your hair, that means access to a range of doctor-trusted treatments designed to help you regrow hair in as few as 3 to 6 months. And for your more intimate moments, that means access to treatments made to give you a boost in the bedroom, like Viagra, Cialis, and their generic counterparts, which can cost up to 95% less through HIMS. If prescribed, treatment is shipped right to your door. A few clicks, and you're dealing with these things before they become a thing. So simple. Find your hair loss and ED solutions today at HIMS.com. That's HIMS.com. HIMS.com.
Opening week at Dell Diamond includes 3 giveaways and 2 fireworks shows. Don't miss a spectacular opening day on Tuesday, April 1st. Plus, all the fun all week long. Tickets at RoundRockExpress.com.
Yo, what up? It's Jake Paul. It's tournament season, and I know y'all think your bracket is going to win you some serious cash. Well, I got news for you. Just in case your bracket is actually busted, you could still win up to 2,000 times your money all tournament long playing daily fantasy on Better Picks. That's right. If you're hearing this, you could watch real sports and win real money on Better Picks right now, and it's super simple to play. All you got to do is download the Better app, choose a few players, pick more or less on their stats, then watch the games and follow along. So why would you play daily fantasy anywhere else for this year's tournament when you can win up to 2,000 times your cash on Better Picks? Go to betrpicks.com or download Better in the app or Play Store and use promo code RADIO to get your first entry matched in bonus funds, win or lose, up to $250.
Must be 21 or older and in a jurisdiction where Better Picks operates. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned with your play? Call the NCPG at 1-800-522-4700.
Hi, folks. I'm here with Dan Christensen of DJC Law. It's Austin's largest veteran-owned personal injury law firm.
Hey, Craig, you're the best, but I got to tell you, you talk a lot.
well, Dan, it's kind of my job,
That's right. And when you do one thing for as long as you have, you get pretty good at it.
Now I feel like you're calling me old.
No, never. Just experience.
Yeah, just like the team at DJC Law. They have over 200 years combined experience and 500 trials.
And don't forget, Craig, a 99% win rate.
Now that's a winning team. Folks, if you've been injured, call DJC Law at 512-888-9999. That's 24/7 nights and weekends. They have more than 1,000 five-star Google reviews, and you don't pay anything unless they win your case. That number, 512-888-9999. And get your justice, teamjustice.com.
Principal office, Austin, Texas.
The NCAA Final Four is nearly set as number 1 Houston will face number 1 Duke after the Cougars' 69-50 win over Tennessee. Top-seeded Auburn takes on second-seeded Michigan State for the final spot, where number 1 Florida awaits. In the women's tournament, number 1 Texas will face number 2 TCU in the Elite Eight tomorrow, with a spot for the Final Four on the line. And the Spurs fell to the Celtics last night. They look to avoid 4 straight losses when they host the Warriors tonight. I'm Darrell Joyner.
This is Doug Gottlieb. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Cedar Park Overhead Doors. You can't plan when your garage door will need service, but you can always trust Cedar Park Overhead Doors. Their tech team delivers superior, honest service on every call. For the best openers, best price, and best service, call Cedar Park Overhead Doors or online at cedarparkgaragedoors.com.
Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone presents the Craig Way Show. Join Craig Way weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. only on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. Get yourself a dose of positivity.
I am a positivity magnet.
Right now.
With a tremendous amount of positivity.
Okay, it's happening. It's the Hardge Knocks Life with Mike Hardge.
It's always funny to me when people start having success and then they start throwing shade a little bit, right? We'll get into Texas football in just a second, but I wanted to talk Major League Baseball real quick, as there are some things going on in New York that people are starting to question. Yes, the Yankees have now decided we are going to be home run hitters. Not just 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5.
You LeBron now?
They didn't went deep often, and they continue to do so in the game against the Brewers. One game, it was 20-9. Home run after home run. 3 pitches, 3 home runs to start the game.
Big knock.
Big knock. And now they are starting to do it again. The Aaron Judge had his 4th home run. Jazz Chisholm hit 2 home runs. Rice hit a home run. I mean, everybody get a home run when you come into Yankee Stadium. But the story is not just about them hitting home runs. The story is about these new torpedo bats.
What about the bats and potentially this whole new bowling pin bat they have with the Yankees?
Look, they actually feel like that their approach at the plate has been really good, but just like with other teams around baseball, the conversation about the bats has caught the eyes of the Braves. They put in their order for some of these bats. Drake Baldwin, their catcher, actually told me that he used one of these during the Arizona Fall League last year. He said, look, it looks weird, and he's not quite comfortable with it, but he said that as long as you have teams like the Yankees having a lot of success with it, other teams are going to look at it.
What about?
And the thing about it is, these were designed by MIT grads, people that understand the aerodynamics, the physics of it all. And the way that these bats are set up, it is legal. The weight is fine. The distribution is fine. Everything is good with the bat.
And they went through MLB to get the bats designed in the first place.
Absolutely. And therefore, when you start to question or believe that something is going on, yes, it's going to create a lot of controversy. It's going to create a lot of storyline. But as he said, their approach at the plate is still been solid. You have to be locked in to be able to get hits, because just because you got a nice bat don't mean you can use it. Just because, you start thinking that you can swing it in a certain fashion, it's not happening that way. So for me, I'm like, if Major League Baseball has approved this, there is no change. The moral of the story is, do like everybody else and start ordering the same bats.
Right,
and help
just
that
start ordering the bat.
And then you're going to be on the same playing field as well. So I have no problem with what's going on. I mean, the Yankees, think about who they have. Paul Goldschmidt is batting leadoff. He hits home runs. Cody Bellinger, former MVP, hit home runs. Aaron Judge, we know he hits home runs. Jazz Chisholm, everybody in their lineup, everybody in the major league can hit a home run consistently. So I'm not tripping off of these bats, but it is kind of interesting that has now become the story because the Yankees are having success.
It's because they're the Yankees, man.
Yeah, another person that's not having success is Rafael Devers. Now that he's just straight DHing, he's straight striking out. He's had a hat trick in every game thus far.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's a little bit different for that young man.
He might be doing that on purpose.
Well, I don't know why.
He won his exit strategy. Trade me.
No,
Get me out of here.
They ain't gonna do that. They ain't gonna do that. He's still stuck in the life of understanding that. Quit trying to hit the ball out. Yeah. Your contract is up in there. Yeah, you ain't going nowhere, man. You sit over there and rethink some things, but that's about it. I wanted to talk a little bit about Texas football as spring practice continues to roll on, and there's a lot of buzz, obviously, with coming around with Arch Manning. Arch Manning is truly the story, but a lot of buzz also is around a lot of the younger players. And one of the younger players that has made a huge, huge impact, and a lot of folks are talking about, is wide receiver Parker Livingston. Parker Livingston from Lovejoy, a guy that is
he's like 6'4", 6'5",
good-looking wide receiver that is built like an NFL wide receiver. He runs like one. There have been videos of a deep pass from Arch Manning, perfectly thrown, drops in the bucket to a Parker Livingston. He's a guy that, under the tutelage of Chris Jackson, who is a former NFL wide receivers coach, knows the ins and outs. He's a kid that has taken to the tutelage of one Chris Jackson and has made a name for himself. Think about Matthew Golden. Think about Isaiah Bond and Silas Bolden and all those guys that were in front of him. The leadership, watching, learning every single day, and understanding that when your time comes, you're going to be a part of that. So he has been able to be that type of guy for this Texas Longhorn football team. So understand that this is a guy that will be making an impact on this football team.
And that's also a position of need for Texas, to somebody to come in, step up, and do things. But Texas hasn't had a big 6'4", 6'5" wide receiver in a while.
In a long time.
Because
I think
that's
the last
not
one
kind
was
of what
what?
Coach
Silas? No, I'm not Silas, but Limas Sweet. But we also had Mike Williams, or the big wide receiver for Texas that played. So this is opportunity for a lot of these guys right now.
Jordan Humphrey too.
Yeah. So you do have that, but you got to have that burner. And this young man can run, because don't forget, he ran the 200 in high school. He ran 100 in high school, and he was on the relays in high school. So, yeah, he's going to get his opportunities, and he's going to be a big part of what Texas is looking for, because he is a big wide receiver. I know that Ryan Wingo has gotten bigger as well, stronger, faster, and he's going to be a problem as well. Texas hosted a lot of young players this past weekend as well. Some local kids were here. One from Dripping Springs, Hudson Whitewright, who is going to be a big-time player coming up. He's one that's getting a lot of buzz. A lot of schools are looking at him as well. So Texas had a good weekend. Texas is going to continue to have a good weekend as it's getting a lot of energy at the University of Texas. Mark, before we go to the next break, I wanted to ask you this. Who are you looking at to be an impactful player for Texas?
I'm really thinking of Baxter. I think his return to this offense.
I saw him walking around the other day.
In the state that if you have big wide receivers, then you're going to have to account for him with people in the secondary or with linebackers. Who's going to meet him at the line of scrimmage?
Yep.
Like, so Texas is already going to be able to create mismatches. And you got to have somebody to spy Manny. I mean, the dude his speed went up to 22 miles an hour.
Yeah, that's a big old boy.
That's
that
a
can
lot.
Run a little bit, right?
That's fast.
Yeah, you're gonna see some guys that are gonna be doing some different things. When we come back, we're gonna close out hour number 1, but we're definitely gonna talk Texas baseball, and I want you to hear Roger Wallace and his excitement on one of these home runs right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
Baseball season is here, and the Round Rock Express are ready to take the field. Hear all the action right here on 1300 The Zone. Whether you're at home or on the road, stay connected with Round Rock Express Baseball.
Redefining the pickleball experience with indoor court, exceptional dining, craft drinks, and entertainment. This is your chance to invest in a rapidly growing brand shaping the future of leisure. For a limited time, you can own a piece of the action. Visit CrushYardFranchising.com to learn more. Crush Yard, pickleball, bar, and lounge.
It's dry outside, but April showers are coming. So get rain gutters now from Austin Gutterman during our spring sale. Austin Gutterman is feeling the mania with this limited time offer. You save 15% on rain gutters and installation plus free splash blocks. All those plants you put in, the mulch, the dirt, they'll be washed away. Let Austin Gutterman's spring sale put an end to April's landscape devastation. Get Austin's best rain gutters installed at 15% off plus free splash blocks. Schedule online, austingutterman.com. That's austingutterman.com.
Tractor Supply knows that a winning season takes practice, teamwork, and a can-do attitude. Thankfully, when you have a neighbor like Tractor Supply, teamwork comes easy. Whether you're caring for pets, chickens, or a few acres, our team members will help you succeed season after season. Tractor Supply, for life out here.
If you've been putting off that trip to the dentist, even if you know you really should get a checkup or get something fixed, let me ease your mind a little bit by recommending Dr. Greg Eckert. Dr. Eckert has been serving the Austin area for 30 years now, and I'm happy to say he's been my dentist for more than a decade. Greg Eckert and his staff will show you what your situation is, and they'll tell you what they can do to help so that you can make the informed decision about your dental health care needs. Give Dr. Eckert a call today at 512-345-3166. They're open on Fridays if that works for you. 512-345-3166.
Prohibition. It's no secret that banning alcohol didn't stop people from living it up in the 1920s.
When we're 5 years into prohibition, the government is starting to go, okay, this isn't working.
I'm Ed Helms, and on season 3 of Snafu, we're taking you back to the 1920s and the tale of Formula 6. What you probably don't know about Prohibition is that American citizens were dying due to poisoned liquor, and all along, an unlikely duo was trying desperately to stop the corruption behind it. Open your free iHeartRadio app, search Snafu, and listen now.
From the very beginning, iHeart has believed in me.
Even now, I still get excited when I hear one of my songs playing on the radio.
Thank you, iHeartRadio, for honoring the truth I've fought for in my music.
Because we believe in the power of music. All your favorite artists, all in one place. The free iHeartRadio app.
Look, there's feelings, and then there's the facts. If you're feeling like your finance team is bogged down in mundane manual tasks, the fact is, you need Ramp. Ramp is the corporate card that makes the expense process fast and easy. The moment your team makes a purchase, Ramp handles everything. Receipt collection and approvals, the works. With Ramp, you can cut your month-end close from 5 days to 1, customize approval workflows, and get complete control over every transaction. Facts. Over 25,000 businesses trust Ramp, including Shopify and the Boys and Girls Club of America, which is why they were just named #1 in spend management by G2. Facts. Start using Ramp and you'll have more time to spend scaling your business. And that'll feel really good. Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's RAMP.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin. Your home for the Horns. Make us the #1 preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good. Sports Radio 1300 The Zone. Your home for the Horns.
Now's the time. You get a chance to win a pair of tickets all week long to go see Dierks Bentley, May the 29th at the Moody Center. All you got to do is tap that red microphone on the new and improved iHeartRadio app and leave us the message, Beach. Beach is the keyword of the day to get a chance to win a pair of tickets to go see Dierks Bentley, May the 29th at the Moody Center. Leaving keywords all week. Make sure you're listening to the Craig Way Show this afternoon and all week long for a chance to win a pair of tickets to go see Coheb and Cambria as well. But Dierks Bentley, word of the day is Beach. The Texas Longhorns went to Columbia, Missouri this week and had one heck of a weekend as they swept the Missouri Tigers this past weekend. 3 games to none, and let's just say that those bats were exploding, kind of like the Yankees.
2 outs, 2 in for the Longhorns here in the top of the 3rd inning, and that is gone. Forget about it. That's going to go over the scoreboard or off the top of it. Gasparino nearly hit the Missouri logo at the top of the scoreboard, and Texas is back on top.
And they did that all weekend long. Some guys got their first home runs of the season, and some guys started to really, really get hot. And one of those guys that got hot was Will Gasparino. And he is one of those guys that once he gets going and he finds his groove, and maybe that was it, was something that was very, very important for him. Over the weekend, over the 3-game set, he had 4 home runs and 11 RBIs. Texas was dealing with some injuries. But, of course, the story was, who's going to be the starting pitcher on Sunday? Well, Riojas got another opportunity to be the starting pitcher, and he handled it like always, going out and being very, very dominant in his performance. And Texas is very happy, and so was he as he spoke to the announcers about his performance.
We're all 8-1 in the SEC, and now Ruger Riojas joins us. The winning pitcher today, 7 innings, allowing just 2 hits, scoreless baseball, 10 strikeouts. A phenomenal line tonight, Ruger. What was working for you best?
Yeah, no, I thought everything was. It was a great day at the ballpark, and I think using the game from the first game, it was a good recommitment field to play to our standard, and I thought everybody executed well.
Who the heck told you to warm up like you did out there? I saw you just playing juggle pregame and jumping up and down, throwing the ball, and all this crazy stuff. Is that part of your routine every time?
Oh, yeah, it's definitely part of my routine. A big thing is, treat it as if we were playing like we were 12 and, doing all those jumps and different types of throws, really, harness that. And I think, having that, what's the word? Well, whatever it is, having that,
charisma is what they call that.
Sure.
Confidence.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, it's either the mustache or the charisma. Let me ask you about this too. Talk to me about the sidearm drop down sliders. You were smiling from ear to ear. So is that like, is he calling that or you?
Oh no, he's calling it. I used to, before I went to college and high school, I threw sidearm, and
nice.
I guess I always held on to it. I'd throw it every once in a while, but we really started working on it about 2 weeks ago. So it's
nice
working
job.
for me.
It was sweet.
Oh, yeah.
I think we caught you smiling one time, but other than that, you look like you were locked in, ready to go. What's the mindset when you take the mound night in and night out?
Just to have fun, and, it's just a game. I mean, as important as it is, it isn't, but, I mean, it's just to really have fun, like leave everything out on the field that I can, and I think I did.
Is it a slider, a little cutter, a little slurvish? You take some off. Tell me what that final breakout pitch is.
I would call it a sweeper just because it's got a whole lot of horizontal movement,
No
but
doubt.
I mean, y'all can call it whatever y'all want.
That's exciting right there. He was able to go, and he's now 6-1, recorded a career high 10 strikeouts and had no walks during his performance. He retired 16 of the first 17 batters that he faced and was able to go 7 innings. But Coach Schlossnagle was really excited for his team because they were dealing with injuries. Ballou was out with an injury. Rodriguez was out. And, of course, Galvan was out. But Coach was very, very proud of his baseball team.
Skipper, anytime you go into a game like this, you had a little adversity because of the players that you didn't have, but a good response. It was a good day. It was a long day, and you had to respond to it.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been as proud of a team as I am of this one. Just playing 27 innings in 36 hours or so, including 2 9s today. It's a beatdown, man.
It is.
It really is, and it's harder, probably harder on you
but
and
it's
I.
harder up here.
Yeah, it's just the mentally the strain that it takes, and then you're already emotional after Ballou and A-Rod yesterday, and then you have Galvan do his deal today. Chamberlain caught his rear end off, did a nice job. Obviously, Ruger was outstanding, and it's good to see Flores come out and pitch out of a jam.
Yeah, I'd like that. And then let's go back to the game one, because we didn't talk up to game one. And I know you don't remember it. It's been a long day.
Yeah.
We've been here 12 hours.
Yeah.
But anyway, you go back and you look at that first game. I thought the intestinal, because they made a little pushback and you had an answer.
Yeah, we did, and kept it. I mean, we just gave up the 4 runs in 1 inning. They were all unearned, right?
Yeah.
And I thought that they brought some guys in the game and had something on the ball. And so Grubbs did a nice job. Valanis got us out of that deal. So it went about as according to plan as you could today.
Last thing I want to talk about, I've been watching when I'm at the ballpark, the work that Will Gasparino's been putting in. Yeah. You can see it showing up now.
Yeah, if he'll just trust it, if he'll just trust it and not, there's going to be a day where he's 0 for 4, and it doesn't mean he doesn't have to change anything. Yeah. If he'll just stay committed to it, he doesn't panic in the at bat. He used to want to swing early to avoid striking out. If he'll get his pitch, if he touches the ball, it normally goes pretty good.
Congratulations on the weekend. Let's go back
safe
to
travels
Austin.
home, man. Good to see you.
What a great weekend for the Texas Longhorn baseball team. They come back tomorrow night. They will take on Texas State as that rivalry continues. And I know people are like, oh, Texas State. It's always a rivalry when you get to play Texas State and Texas. Texas will have a huge weekend this weekend as well, as they will take on Georgia. Georgia will be coming in this weekend starting Friday night, Saturday afternoon, and Sunday afternoon as well. And then they finish off the homestand with a 5-game homestand as they will take on Houston Christian next Tuesday. But tomorrow night, Texas State Bobcats come into town as the Texas Longhorns are now 8-1 in SEC play, 23-3 on the season, and they continue to roll. Hour number 2 is just around the corner. Texas women's basketball takes on TCU tonight, 6 o'clock, but you can hear it all right here on AM 1300 The Zone. And we'll talk a little bit more about some of the other participants in the Final Four right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300 The Zone.
Hey, it's Sandy. I've been telling you guys about Apple leasing for over 20 years now, and I want you to think about something. Is it finally time to lower your car payments? Everything has become so expensive, but your car payment doesn't have to be. With Apple leasing, you can get into a brand new under warranty car with no down payment and save up to 50% on your monthly payments on terms that actually match your trade cycle. Still think it's too good to be true? Well, that's what their clients say. This is too good to be true. You can check out their thousands of near perfect reviews on DealerRater, Google, and Facebook. And then let the nation's least